Hello, everyone. Welcome back to ThreadTalk. I'm Denver.
And I'm Teresa. And today we're going to be talking about engagement/proposal stories on Am I the Asshole? Today I fucked up. Because in case you guys didn't know, we're engaged.
Yes, Teresa's very excited because I proposed to Teresa back in October, so about 3 months ago now. And we are now in the middle of planning the wedding.
We haven't started anything. We need
slightly started. We've looked at some venues. Nothing more than that, really.
Yeah.
We won't get too much into our own engagement stuff until the end of this episode like normal. We're going to hop into the Reddit stories, and at the end of the episode, we'll talk about a little bit more personal stuff. So if you make it all the way to the end, you get know a little bit more about us. But Teresa's very happy to be engaged. She's very happy with her engagement ring. And I was like, what do you want to do for the next episode? And she's like, let's do some engagement stories. And as she's going through them, she's like, ooh, this is a juicy one. This is a juicy one. I didn't think it could get any better. So she actually went ahead and got all the stories for us today as I was busy editing our last episode.
Yes.
So without further ado, let's get into the first story.
Yes, I'm very excited for this episode.
Well, let's get into it.
I think we have some good stories. All right. First story to start us off is from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for not wanting to get my girlfriend an expensive engagement ring? I've, 26 male, have been with my girlfriend, 26 female, for 4 years, and we've recently been talking more and more about marriage. Although my girlfriend grew up relatively well off, for the time I've known her, she's been pretty low maintenance. She's never cared about designer brands, rarely buys new clothes, and the jewelry she owns was gifted to her. I have a decent job now, $80K a year, and I've been saving for a while, but growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money. My girlfriend and I have always seemed to be on the same page when it comes to saving money. I assumed she would be fine with more of an affordable ring. When I started looking into rings, I discovered moissanite rings, which look similar to a diamond ring, but are much more affordable. I was looking at rings in the $1,500 to $1,800 range. When I mentioned this to her, she insisted she wanted a real diamond ring and sent me links to a bunch of real diamonds that she liked. The prices ranged from $6,500 to $10,000. I told her that I wasn't willing to spend that much. She seemed genuinely mad and said it wasn't that expensive. We got in a pretty big argument over it. I told her that it was ridiculous to ask me to spend that much and that I thought she was more reasonable than that. She said I was being cheap and that I could afford it and that I was basically saying she wasn't worth it. I told her no one was worth a $10,000 ring. Eventually, my girlfriend says she didn't care and that I should get whatever ring I want, but she's clearly still mad, and I know this is going to be an ongoing argument. I'm a bit frustrated because this seems out of left field. I've always known marriage is super important to her, but I didn't realize she'd insist on a diamond ring. So I talked to my older sister about it, who, despite agreeing diamond rings were stupid priced, sided with my girlfriend and said if I could afford it, she didn't see the big deal. She added that my girlfriend has done so much for me and that I was being an asshole about this. What my sister means by my girlfriend doing so much for me is that she was really supportive when I was in a serious car accident 4 years ago. I broke multiple bones and required a few surgeries. Although where I live, most healthcare is covered, I was unable to work for a while and had expenses I wasn't able to pay. I had been dating my girlfriend for only 6 months at the time, and she was really there for me. I couldn't pay my rent, so she let me move in with her for free and helped me pay for a few expenses and for physical therapy I needed. She also helped me get a job with her uncle, who was the VP of an insurance company. It was an entry-level position, and I had a business degree, so it's not like I was unqualified. Obviously, I've thanked her for all that she did for me, but it's not something we talk about much. I don't think I'm obligated to buy an expensive ring because she helped me out a few years ago. But if my own sister said this, I'm guessing my girlfriend must feel the same way. Am I the asshole here?
I don't think so. It's tough. I don't think this person's the asshole. I think $10,000 for a ring is just a waste of money. I mean, I guess we're going to get probably into this a lot in the stories, but I like to go by the thing that De Beers made diamonds a rare commodity, even though there's warehouses full of them, and that they weren't selling enough diamonds. So they, back in, I don't even know when, but they started making up things that, diamond is a girl's best friend, and you need one for every engagement ring, because diamonds never used to be an engagement thing back in the day. And it's only made that way by society because a company needed to sell something. So I totally agree that it's a waste of money. I mean, your ring, is not a real diamond. It's a moissanite.
Moissanite.
But that's something that we talked about as well. So I don't think he's really the asshole. I think there is perhaps a lack of communication where maybe they're not actually ready for marriage. You know, it could be one small thing where it's like, hey, everything else is absolutely perfect. This one is just the one thing and it's caught me off guard. I mean, even if you're making $80K a year, like a $10,000 ring, that's still a very expensive ring for only $80,000 a year. So, and then it's also like, it seems to be more of the principle for him. He seems to recognize that a diamond is a waste of money and that money could be better invested in other things. Like maybe he wants to take her on a trip. He wants to buy her other things that are more necessity, like buying her a MacBook or something like that, or spending more on the wedding. Like there's a lot of different reasons. And I don't think you're automatically the asshole because you don't want to buy a diamond ring.
Well, so you mentioned communication, and she did communicate with him that she wanted a diamond ring.
That's true.
So if this is something that she wants and it's going to be on her hand for the rest of her life, like she sent ranges from 6,500 to 10K. It
not
doesn't
ridiculous.
Have to be 10K.
Doesn't need to be 50.
Yeah.
You know, there's definitely more expensive wedding rings out there. So I don't think he's the asshole, and I don't think she's the asshole too. It's not like she's like, I need a $50,000 ring, whatever. She's just like, no, like having a diamond is important to her. And hey, if you're think about it, like you're gonna get a smaller diamond ring than you would have for that $2,000 moissanite ring. Mm-hmm. So some people care more about the fact that it's a real diamond.
Exactly.
And if that's what's important to her, like, okay, hey, if everything else is perfect and this is just the one thing and it's not a bunch of things on top of it, then maybe it is worth it. It seems like she has been your rock, helping you through all of those other things. I think if you had told me I want a diamond ring, that's where my heart is content. I would have had the conversation with you about how I think it's a waste of money, what my feelings are about it. But if at the end of the day, you were still like, nope, I'd rather have a little bit of a smaller rock as long as it's a real diamond, then I would be like, okay, that's what I'm going to go get you. Because I know it's on your finger for the rest of your life. You need to be happy with it.
Another compromise here could have been, maybe we get the moissanite now, we get married now, and then maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, we can upgrade that ring to her dream diamond ring.
Very good compromise. I mean, if I'm being honest, that's my plan. I like the...
I love my moissanite.
I know you love your moissanite.
I don't want a diamond.
And I know diamonds are a waste, but if it's ever to the point where
it's also more ethical.
I don't care. If it's ever to the point where we're very comfortable and we have an extra $20,000 laying in the bank that we don't need for anything, I'm going to upgrade that rock to a real diamond, maybe for like our 50th anniversary or something.
All right, you guys heard it here.
But that's a really good plan of getting the moissanite. You can't tell the difference too. Getting the moissanite and then upgrading later. But I think it all comes down to communication. If that's something that you really want. And also, just because you make $80,000 a year does not mean you can afford a $10,000 ring. Like, how much do you have in savings? How much do you have in investments and everything?
Yes.
Like, how much do you spend on your rent or your mortgage and your car and everything else? How often do you guys go on vacations? Like, just because you make $80K, which is not a lot, doesn't mean that you can afford a $10,000 ring.
I agree.
So I feel like that's a little bit, they're using the amount that you make yearly before taxes about how much you can spend on a ring. I don't think is a fair adjustment there or comparison.
So something else that I didn't love what he wrote, he said, I told her no one was worth a $10,000 ring. So he doesn't even think that she's worth a $10,000 ring,
that's another problem.
That is a problem because, as we've learned,
Seems like she's worth it.
She's helped him a lot throughout. Like, they were only dating for 6 months when he was like severely injured and needed all those surgeries and needed all that help. And she cut him some slack with rent, groceries, and all of that. Helped him a lot financially. So for him to say you're not worth it.
Yeah. Like, did she save him like $6,000? Sounds like it. For how long?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
So I don't know. So do you want to know the overall vote?
I feel like people of Reddit will think this dude's an asshole. I don't think he's an asshole. I don't know.
Overall vote was asshole. Top comment.
Yeah, what's the top comment?
Top comment. You're the asshole. She is typically low maintenance and agreeable. She supported you and stepped up when you needed her without complaint. She had asked for this one thing and you find unreasonable, but you can afford. It's something she is going to wear every day for the rest of her life. Talk with her about it. Ask her to explain why it's so important to her without interrupting or arguing. That's the important part. When it's your turn, tell her why you think it's too much. Focus on how you could use that money together, not just on it being wasteful. Why you find it wasteful, even though you can afford it, is what matters. No one is worth $10,000 sounds a lot like I don't love you that much in the heat of the moment. Once you have both given real, understandable, calm reasons, try to find a compromise if you still disagree. A diamond is important to her, so you can give her a budget if you feel it's responsible. Can you nudge the budget into the area that feels slightly uncomfortable to you? Neither of you may love the feeling of compromise, but that's what a healthy marriage takes. She's already shown you the richer, poorer, sickness, and health part. Now you can show her the work without her to find solutions when you disagree.
This is a very smart comment. I think it all comes down to communication. Like, you need to explain your side of why you don't think anybody is worth a $10,000 ring, because diamonds are a waste of money. So that is what it is. And you need to understand why it's so important to her. Just like every relationship, it all comes down to communication there.
I agree. So he did make an edit after. He said, this post got way more attention than I expected. I've definitely reconsidered my stance. I'm going to talk to her more about this. Thank you for all your help. So it seems like a lot of the comments were in the girlfriend's favor of the expensive diamond ring, and it sounds like he's going to reconsider.
But no update?
No, we don't have an update.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Oh, I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened to them. Did they make it through?
Yeah.
Reddit gets you so addicted you want updates.
Yeah, there's no updates here. I'm looking. I don't see anything.
Okay.
All right.
My turn?
Yep.
Okay. Before we get into my story, I missed this on the last episode, but I got a joke for you. I'm going to try and get a joke for you every episode and see if we can make Teresa laugh.
Okay.
Because it's hard.
That's pretty easy to make me laugh.
Well, it's been 2 episodes where you didn't laugh at my jokes. So here we go. Third try on the 4th episode. It's an engagement one. I asked my partner what sort of engagement ring she'd like. One that's a bit like you, she said. Full of sparkle? Cheap and round, she replied. Yes, we got a win.
Cheap and round.
We got a win. There we go.
You did it. That was funny.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one, this one is also from Am I the Asshole? It's from a throwaway account. It's from 11 months ago. It's a pretty popular one. Had 12,000 upvotes. Okay, here we go. Am I the asshole if I tell my friend her boyfriend is planning to propose? I mean, just off that title, I feel like you are. My 27 female best friend has been dating her boyfriend, 26 male, for over 5 years. A while back, he reached out to me to help figure out ring size and the setup so he could make the most of this magical day for her. Having known my friend for over 20 plus years, I know exactly how she wants her proposal to go and who she wants to be there. So I relayed all this information to him months ago via text and over the phone. I even took the time to covertly find and confirm which ring she would love the most. A little background. My friend is incredibly family and friend orientated, and in the past expressed to me on multiple occasions, especially during the holiday season, that in the 5 years they've been together, he hasn't really made much of an effort to introduce himself to her family or friendships the way she has for his. While I do generally like him, I have always felt that he is incredibly self-serving and self-focused. Recently, through a mutual friend, I found out that he started a group text between I emphasize on his friends and his family to set up the time and date of the proposal. He has not only excluded myself, and according to the screenshots I've seen, he is doing everything verbatim I suggested he do, but he has completely excluded her family and other close friends from the event. He is planning on only having his boys, and family present for the occasion. And knowing my friend, this would ultimately break her heart not being able to share this woman with her loved ones. I got heated and called him. At first, he was dodging my questions, but then just outright said, "This is my proposal, and I've spent enough time and money to choose how I do it, just to be happy for your friend. It's not like you're coming to the wedding." This infuriated me, and to make matters worse, I ran into her mom and dad at the grocery store and stubbornly asked if they knew of any possibility she was getting engaged. They were unsure, and I know for a fact my friend has told him that he needs to ask her parents for their blessing. She's somewhat traditional. My friend wears her heart on her sleeve, and I can predict how this event will go down when she sees all of his close friends and family and none of hers. Considering her previous sentiments about his lack of interest in her family life, she will 100% see this being hurtful and selfish, and I know she'll cry. To make matters worse, the location of the proposal is a whopping 30 minutes from her parents' home. I don't want to get involved in a fight or reveal a surprise, but on the other hand, I feel like I owe it to my long life friend to help her avoid being hurt and disappointed. Maybe even helping her rethink her future would look like with someone who just doesn't appreciate what she values in life. So am I the asshole if I tell her boyfriend is going to propose?
Wow, this guy sucks.
This dude sucks, and I'm surprised that she has been in this relationship for so long.
Yeah, it seems like she's already having issues with him, so I don't know if going into a marriage, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I think at the end of the day, you're going to be the asshole if you ruin that. That's
I agree.
something that she needs to make on her own.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
something that she needs to realize and come to the decision of. You can talk to her after the proposal and you can tell her your side. This is what I tried to help happen because this is what I knew you wanted, and I gave him all that information, and this is how he took it, and that was the end result, and he purposely chose not to.
Yeah.
I would rethink the wedding. If I were you, that's what you do. You don't spoil anything. You have to let her come to that realization on her own, and when she'll start asking questions, and when she asks, you can tell.
Yes, because I think if you ruin the moment for her, it might leave a bad taste in her mouth, and then she might resent you for it, and then she won't take any of your opinions truthfully.
Exactly.
So
they always say don't shoot the messenger, but I guarantee you the messenger gets shot.
Yes, exactly.
See Sparta? He kicked him down the well.
I don't know that
Sparta. No, it's 300. It's 300, the movie with the Spartans. The messengers always die. The messengers get hurt the most. So yeah, just let it play out and tell it when you're side when you're asked.
Also, why would she be going to the wedding?
Yeah, why wouldn't you be going to the wedding?
That's her best friend.
It's not like you're going to the wedding. This is my best friend. What are you talking about?
He seems like he's isolating her from all of her family and friends.
This dude's toxic.
Maybe intentionally or unintentionally, but
this dude's toxic.
Yeah.
You can already tell he's toxic. Oh, there is an edit here. Edit, I did not tell her parents. I covertly inquired if he had spoken to them yet about proposing since it's been 5 years in a joking way. Well, yeah, he needs to ask the dad for permission.
Yeah,
if
so
she's traditional.
He's going against everything that she wants.
Exactly. Edit 2. The proposal is scheduled for this weekend. I will give you guys an update on how it goes. After so many responses, I have decided not to say anything and to let things play out.
Good.
I gave him an opportunity by expressing the need to invite her parents and friends like she always wanted, and he chose not to. That's on him, not me.
Period.
At least she realized it.
Yep.
Where is the update?
It's
I need an
in the Google
update.
Doc.
I need an update. I need an update for this.
It's in the
Okay.
Google Doc.
Okay, before I get to the update, there is the top comment is do not tell her. As much as you know her and want this proposal to go as planned, it is ultimately up to her boyfriend how he wants to do it. If your friend is disappointed, then that can be her sign to discuss this with her fiance about moving forward. It is not your place to tell her or intervene at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
Yep. Okay, where is this update? I'm finding it. Here we go. Update. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for this update. Did the update get more?
Yeah.
The update got more upvotes than the original post. 30,000 upvotes 10 months ago. Here we go. Update. Am I the asshole if I tell my friend her boyfriend is planning to propose? To everyone who told me to keep my mouth shut, thank you. So on Saturday, the day of the proposal, I got a call from her boyfriend. He was screaming at me, blaming me for not showing up, uninvited still, to the proposal with her parents because she was upset they weren't there. I was fucking slack-jawed. I told him I knew this was happen, and he says, verbatim, you just admitted you knew this would happen. So if you knew the whole time and you actually cared about her, you would have invited them. I was gobsmacked and hung up on him. Not even an hour later, I get a call from her asking me to come to her parents. According to her, this is how the situation played out. He popped the question, she said yes, and the people he invited popped out from hiding. She was bombarded by 4 of his guy friends, his mom, dad, older brother, and sister-in-law. His parents were holding a sign that read, "Welcome to the family, Mrs. Insert the last name here." And this is where things go downhill. I did not know this before, and I thought I knew everything, but my friend doesn't want to change her last name, and she told him that repeatedly since they got together. She's an only child from a Ukrainian family, and with everything going on with Ukraine in the last year, she's doubled down. When she saw the sign, she joked, "Mrs. his last name? I think you mean Mrs. her last name." Everyone went silent until his mom said, "Well, the ring is already engraved. No changing it now." She takes the ring off and sees Mrs. his last name engraved on the band.
Oh my God.
Then she asked if her parents were coming. He gave every excuse. He didn't have their number. There was too many people there. He wanted to keep it private and eventually said, "This was my proposal to you, and now my family is your family. We can just send your parents the pictures later." She took the ring off and left. That's
Good.
when I'm assuming I got that call from him. She went straight to her parents. She asked them about the engagement. They were clueless. She then asked if I knew anything. I asked if she was in the right place. She said she was, so I told her I would answer any questions she had rather than dumping everything on her.
Oh,
she
amazing.
was upset but thanked me. She was furious when I told her about the call from him earlier and said, "Does he really think I'm that shallow?" She said it wasn't about having the perfect proposal or her parents there. It was about him making the whole thing about himself, as always, and she was done feeling ignored and belittled. So this was her breaking point. She's staying with her parents currently and has been receiving texts from him. The worst one so far is him telling her that she has to pay him back for the ring and for ruining his life. Right now, all I can do is be there for her and whatever decision she makes. I will fully support it because, as you've all helped me realize, this isn't about me. This is about her. Not my monkey, not my circus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
That is the best update we've had.
That was the best update I have ever read on Reddit. The last name, the fact that all of his parents and family came out and he still couldn't invite any of hers was like,
and the
breaking
excuses,
straw.
the lies, I didn't have their number. He didn't want to try. He doesn't care about you, girl.
Exactly.
He does not care. And then he's blaming the best friend.
Oh my God.
If you knew, she would have been pissed. Why didn't you invite them? What do you mean? She told you.
Exactly.
Oh, this one infuriates me.
There is an edit. She gave him the ring back when she took it off. I didn't include that because I was at the 3,000 character limit already. Edit 2, update. I did not mention this plan when I originally posted just in case her ex found this thread, but I can report now that we got a heads up last night that he wasn't at their apartment, so we ran over and got most of her shit out, at least all the really important stuff. To those asking, no, she isn't going back to him. It's over.
Oh,
Thank
amen.
God. Yes. Toxic relationship.
See, this is why you can't meddle. You can't meddle with other people's relationships.
You gotta let things play out.
They have to realize on their own terms. So
exactly.
Oh, that was amazing.
I like that. One thing I would say about this is, who wants their family there after proposal?
Well,
I guess some people do.
A lot of people do.
I wonder, like, what's the statistics of people who do versus people that don't?
After the proposal is normal.
You did not want anybody there.
During the proposal.
Or after. You're like,
No.
I don't want people surprising me.
No, I
That's
never
what you
said
said.
that. No, I didn't want people at the proposal.
Well, that's not the same thing. Isn't that what happened here? They were at the proposal?
Well, I guess they were.
Yeah.
But like usually you like if you proposed in Toronto,
Yeah.
like usually it would be like a small get together after.
Oh, okay.
Like a little engagement party kind
Engagement
of.
party right after.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
interesting.
like remember what we did for Kat? After she got proposed to, we went to the rooftop at their
Oh, yeah.
place. We
Yep.
just had a little cake. Yeah.
Yep. For those of you curious, Teresa and I took a trip to California, and I proposed to Teresa at the Griffith Observatory, and I blew her mind. Blew her mind. She had no idea. At first, she thought that was it because she was planning the whole trip, and I was like, hey, we have to make sure we go here in the morning on this day. She got a little suspicious.
Yeah.
She told her sister told me, and I was like, you know what? I could switch the plans, but if I don't, she'll be totally thrown off. She'll think that she got it and I have to change my plans. So I'm going to stay true because I already had a photographer hired. And bam, we found the right place. Had the city of LA behind us for the photos, an amazement proposal photo and stuff. And men, or actually this for men and women, if you think that your fiance should have said more during the proposal, just so you know, our minds go blank. I had a whole thing. I was going to mention some Taylor Swift stuff. I had a whole thing planned to say. And as soon as it was go time, blank. Absolutely blank. The only thing I can remember was say, I love you. Will you marry me? And get on the knee. Everything else went blank in that moment.
Yeah, you were nervous.
Yeah, that was a good proposal. If you guys want to see more of that, it's on our other personal YouTube channel if you want to see that.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
Oh, well, that was a great story. Great ending. Very
Yes.
happy she left him.
Me too.
All right, moving on. This one is from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to share my engagement party with my non-engaged sister? I just got engaged to my partner of 4 years, and my parents said they would throw us an engagement party. They are paying for everything, but want to make it a shared engagement party for both me and my sister. I have a slight problem with this because my sister isn't actually engaged. She has just been dating her boyfriend for 12 years, and he gave her a promise ring shortly after my engagement. We're all in our late 20s/early 30s, so pretty much everyone except for my sister and our parents think that this is kind of childish and ridiculous. I've had many conversations with my sister over the years that have boiled down to, look, if he wanted to marry you, he would. But she has stayed with him and held out hope. And I suppose she took the promise ring as a close enough kind of gesture because she is treating it exactly like an engagement ring. My fiance reached out to her boyfriend because he was equally confused and said, are you guys engaged? And he outright said that they weren't. Nonetheless, my sister is showing the ring to everyone and even putting together a wedding planner binder. I feel bad for her, I really do, but she's also a grown woman and I don't feel like I should have to enable this farce. I've been dealing with don't forget about sister, make sure sister is included my whole life, and I was really hoping that my engagement, if nothing else, would actually be my own. I'd rather just not have an engagement party at all than play along with this weird fantasy. My fiance would rather have a weird party than no party, and my parents are scolding me for being so selfish to want to exclude my sister.
That's wild. A promise ring is not an engagement ring.
No, it's not. Even if they were engaged, she doesn't want to share the date with her sister.
No, nobody wants to share the date with anybody. That
No.
is your engagement, your wedding, your everything.
Yes.
Don't propose at people's weddings. Don't propose at people's engagement parties. Leave everything separate. I mean, I waited until my sister's wedding was over before I even
Exactly.
proposed to you, just so we could, like, you know, be
Separate.
on the next thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's infuriating. I feel bad. This family is the parents
They're
wanting to
enabling
do
her.
that, and the younger sister.
Yeah, younger sister.
12 years, and they're all mid 30s. So you just been, and she's younger, so she's late 20s. So you've been dating since high school. Like, the communication, it always comes down to communication. If you've been dating for so long, have you not asked him, are we ever going to get married? When is it going to be? It's been 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were 6 years in before I proposed, but we had a solid foundation. We talked about it. We knew, like, we talked about it. I'm sure you would have been happy if it was earlier, but we did it when it was right. But 12 years,
No.
I mean.
It was a perfect time.
Exactly.
We were both ready. But yeah, it does come down to communication because
Jeez.
it seems like he's leading her on saying, oh, we will get married eventually.
Yeah, that's
Gave
cruel.
her this promise ring. But yeah, 12 years is a long
She's
time.
holding out.
She is holding out.
Is she holding out without a
And-
conversation, or because he told her, oh, soon?
I'm not sure, but I think the promise ring definitely speeds things up for her. So
Speed things up. No, that's a red flag.
Well-
12 years, you're getting the promise ring. Promise rings are a cute gesture you do at the beginning of your relationship. I think
Yeah.
I gave you one at 3 years.
2 or 3.
2 or 3. When we went on our first
Maybe it was
vacation.
3. Yeah.
That's something you do early on. 12 years in, you get a promise ring. That's a slap across the face.
Yes.
That is
It's-
insulting.
Yeah.
Especially if you have communicated that you are ready and waiting for the engagement ring. And he gives you a promise ring, throw that in his face and get the heck out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you absolutely love him and unless you're okay with not being married. Some people, they don't like marriage. They just don't want that whole thing. I don't want to get into why some people don't like marriage, but some people don't. And if that's your wish, no problem, but there needs to be communication.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, if he has no intentions of marrying her, then he should just say that and stop leading her on. But yeah, so overall vote was not the asshole on this. Top comment is quoting, "My parents are scolding me for being so selfish to want to exclude my sister. Then we'll host our own engagement party with blackjack and hookers. She's not excluded, it's just not hers. Where does it end? White dress at the wedding? Come along on the honeymoon? Your parents are the kind of parents who will let her do it. Draw your line in the sand here and now, not the asshole."
100%. Where does it end? Blackjack and hookers. That's hilarious. But yeah, where does it end? Plan your own engagement party. You don't need them. Screw them.
And if
Screw
it's
them.
a money issue, just have a smaller, because I get the parents are funding the engagement
that
party.
makes sense.
But just have a smaller engagement party then.
Exactly.
If you don't want to take the money from your parents because they want to have your sister there, just have a smaller engagement party or don't have one at all.
Exactly.
So.
Yep.
All right, moving along.
All right, my turn. This one comes from Am I the Asshole? This is from 4 months ago. Pretty popular, 21,000 upvotes, so let's get into it. Am I the asshole for firing my brother after he proposed at my wedding? So a bit of background. I own a plumbing company and hired my brother 3 years ago. He was jobless after the pandemic and I offered him to come work for me. He was 22 at the time and is now looking to become a master plumber and start his own business. At my wedding, in which he was the best man, he decided that during his speech, he would give us all a big surprise and decided to propose to his longtime girlfriend. Me and my wife were appalled. We both feel like he stole the shine from our day. Everyone else in our families were so excited and kept taking pictures of her, looking at the ring, etc. I decided to fire him the very next day. He still doesn't understand why. He claims I am being selfish and irrational, and our parents agree. They are saying that business should be separate from personal lives, but I just can't overlook what he did and how he ruined our day. Am I overthinking this?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, that's not even a question.
What a betrayal. What an asshole.
asshole.
It's one thing if you ask for permission and it's consented.
Yes.
You do not propose. You shouldn't propose either way, but you do absolutely don't do it when you don't have permission. And then you think this isn't going to go back into your work life because you work for your brother who did you a favor. This is his personal life for you. He is pissed at you. He can't stand you. He doesn't want to be around you. Of course he's going to fire your ass. He doesn't want to see your face in the morning.
Exactly.
You just ruined his wedding. You're an asshole. You're
Yes.
the biggest dumbass. Asshole. Yeah. Dumb asshole.
And the people saying like business should be separate from personal
No.
lives, that's not true because he hired him
Exactly.
because he had a personal relationship with him. So that's already, the lines are blurred.
Exactly. You didn't get the job on your professional merit. You got your
Exactly.
job because of personal. And when you fuck up personal, you lose your job when you eat where you shit.
Yeah,
When you shit
no,
where you
exactly.
eat. Yeah, shit where you eat.
Sure where you eat,
I
yeah.
always say things backwards. Edit 1. I should have mentioned this, but he will still be getting severance. He is still my brother, but I wouldn't let him lose his home over this. But as a small business, I can't imagine seeing him every day at work. Not now, at least. Yeah, 100%. Edit 2. I reached out to him, and we plan on speaking later the day in person. Edit 3. I love all the people who say, you've been looking for a reason to fire him, or you're just jealous. He was my best man. I never felt upset about him opening his own business. In fact, he has my complete blessing. This job was only supposed to get him on his feet again. I'm so happy he liked the field and he wants to go further in it. There was no malice before this incident. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like he doesn't want to see his shitty face every day after he fucked up his wedding. My bad on my fucking terrible for that guy. Top comment on this one is not the asshole. This case can't separate family and business because you only offer the job because he was family. I would tell him that he can have the job back after he pays for half of the reception since he turned it into a combined wedding reception and engagement party.
Oh,
Gold.
period.
Gold. You pay for half of what my wedding cost. You can keep your job.
Exactly. Like, I don't understand what runs through people's mind. Thinking that this would have been okay without asking.
No permission.
And then not having any idea why he was fired.
Psychos.
Like, how out of touch do you have to be?
I wonder if he even apologized.
No, I don't think he thinks he did anything wrong.
Does he even apologize? That's hilarious.
Even if, like, I just think it's so distasteful even if you have permission to propose at someone else's wedding. Like, those are two separate things for two, like, you want attention for the bride and you want to have attention for your own day when you're getting proposed to. I wouldn't want to share my day, either my wedding day or my proposal day, with someone else.
I would lose it.
I don't think anyone would want to. That's fair to say that you want that day to be special and about you only.
You're cut from my life.
Yeah.
Cut from my life. Bye. Maybe I'll talk to you in 10 years.
And for the like, I was just thinking about this, like, for the family to be so happy for them, like, and asking for pictures.
Fuck
and
all them too.
taking pictures of the rings and stuff. And I just think that's so absurd too.
Nobody shamed them. Nobody shamed them.
No one said, okay, sorry, he didn't tell anybody, and nobody warned him, like, oh, maybe that's a bad idea. No one stopped him. Like, yeah. I'm sure he couldn't have kept this to himself.
I'm pretty sure he told his parents, and his parents thought it was a great idea.
Yeah,
his parents are probably part of this, if they are, they're assholes.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
I guess we'll move on. All right.
This is a good episode. These engagement stories are juicy.
I know. That's why I chose the engagement ones.
These are juicy.
Yeah. And it's hitting home because we're newly engaged.
I think we're going to have to do a part 2 to this episode in a couple months.
There are a ton of stories. So
we did start a Reddit ThreadTalk page for ThreadTalk podcast. So if you want to share your engagement stories for us to read on our next episode of engagement stories, just feel free to head over there, drop them down, and we'll read those out on our next engagement episode.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Okay. This one comes from Am I the Asshole again? Am I the asshole for asking my brother to pay $30,000 for my engagement ring?
Whoa.
I hosted a family dinner over the weekend. My brother brought my nephews, 4 and 8, over as well. I used to wear my engagement ring all the time, but lately I keep it in my walk-in closet and mainly wear it for special occasions. While I was cleaning up the dinner table, my nephews went to go play while the adults were still in the outdoor patio/outdoor kitchen area. My brother was not supervising his kids. During this time, my nephew went into the master bedroom without anyone knowing and started playing with everything, including my engagement ring. When we came to look for them, they panicked because they know they aren't supposed to be upstairs, ran into the master bedroom, and flushed my ring. We called a plumber in case it was somehow in the U-trap of the toilet and not actually gone, but nope, unfortunately, it was gone for good. We still had the original receipt, so I called my brother. I emailed him a scanned copy as proof of the cost and asked him to reimburse me for the ring that my nephew flushed. Immediately, he started calling me an asshole because we were family and he was just a child. He has refused to repay the cost of my ring. I told him I will be taking him to court for this, and now my entire family is blowing up my phone, saying families shouldn't sue each other and just let it go. Am I the asshole?
Wow. Okay, I think... Oh, I fucking hate kids.
Me too. This just made my... Why would you flush a ring down the toilet?
Some dinks over here. How do you panic and flush a ring down the toilet?
Oh, come on.
Oh my God. Okay, there's so many layers to this. Okay, like, is the principle the same if it's a $5 item or a $30,000 item that somebody else's kid destroys? Is the principle the same, or does it change? When something becomes so valuable that it's hard to replace, does it change? $30,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Also, a person with kids probably broke as shit, unless he's doing very well, but he has kids, and people with kids are usually broke as shit. I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like because it's family, it's something that kind of should be forgiven. Kind of.
$30,000.
But $30,000 is a lot. That's a huge amount.
That
so
can't
at
just
what
be
point?
Forgiven.
At what point is it forgiven? Even if it was $5,000, that's a lot. $30,000 is massive. Insurance is not covering nephews flushing it down the toilet.
Yeah. So there's a couple updates. We'll talk after the updates.
Man, I don't know what to think right now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe this will help you. Okay. Edit 1. No, the ring was not insured. I found out the day after my nephew flushed it. My husband says he forgot and in the end never actually insured it, which is fine. That's still not the husband's fault.
No, that's not the husband's fault at all.
No.
Jeez.
Okay. Edit 2. My brother says he does not have the money to repay even $100 per month and has refused any kind of repayment plan. He said, I live in a nice enough house and if I want a replacement, I should just sell my car.
Okay, brother's an asshole. If you're not willing to compromise or you're not willing to pay, listen, I can't afford it, but this is what I can afford to give you. If you're not willing to do that, you have become the asshole. When you want to have little munchkins running around, you become responsible for them. You let your kids out of your sight. You let them go up into your sister's bedroom. It would have been the same thing if they broke a vase, if they broke a painting, if they broke something in the backyard, they lit someone's house on fire. You are responsible for their actions until they become 18. That is the responsibility that you took on when you decided to have kids.
All right.
You need to own up to that.
I agree. Edit number 3. My brother, to this day, has not truly apologized. It was a Canadian sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
What?
He said kids will do what is normal for kids, and they shouldn't be held responsible for a ring. They were supposed to supervise their kids outdoors with the rest of the family while I was busy cleaning up. Okay, that argument, kids will be kids and they shouldn't be held responsible.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
They are. Exactly. You are held responsible.
You are held responsible.
Listen, the kids are not held responsible because they're kids. You need to teach your kids how to act. You are responsible for their actions because you are the parent. You need to teach them how to act. I feel insulted about this Canadian apology thing because we are Canadian. I don't know. Maybe we say sorry too often. I don't know what. Canadian apologies aren't half-assed. They just come too easy. We apologize for everything. Like, I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but whatever. But yeah. No, this dude, like, you're cut from my life. Your kids are never allowed there. You're your responsibility.
Never again.
They're your responsibility is take care of your kids.
Yep. All right. This is the kicker. Edit 4. I don't believe for a second my brother and his wife cannot pay for the cost of my engagement ring. They don't make anything near my husband, but they do have a combined income of around $250K. They don't pay rent or anything because my parents gifted them their old house valued at $3.5 million in Toronto, Ontario. Back when I bought my parents a new home years ago. There was no mortgage on the home my brother lives in. The only things my brother and his wife would have to pay for is the cost of raising their children, normal bills, and food. I feel so distraught because my ring holds great sentimental value. I've already been speaking with my husband's family lawyer, but at this point, I'm ready to hire a PI to find out if they really don't have the money.
You're getting sued. Okay, you're in a free $3.5 million house. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to sell that $3.5 million house, and you're going to go buy and you're going to go live in a $3.3 million house. Whoa. No, you're done. You're paying for it. You're an asshole. You're done. You're refusing to pay for it. You have no bills. You guys make $250,000 a year. You can sell your house. You sell your car, bro. You're paying for this. You wanted kids. That's what you decided. And wait, they live in Toronto? We're in Toronto. So does she live in the States now? Is she not Canadian? I'm still insulted by this Canadian half-ass sorry.
I think they all live in Canada.
Apparently they all live in Canada. I'm less insulted, but I'm confused. No, you're done. You're done. You're the asshole. You're paying for it. I'm suing you. I am suing you. You can sell your car. Sell the doors off the east wing of your $3.5 million mansion. Like, listen, I know Toronto real estate is expensive, but $3.5 million is still a very nice house. Everything costs minimum $1 million, but you're 3 timesing that. That's a pretty decent house. So you're selling it. You can go live in Scarborough. No, but like $3.5 million, literally sell it. It's 30,000 is nothing compared to that. Go buy a house that's $3.4 million. Boo-hoo.
Yeah, exactly. No, they have no bills. They chose to have kids. Like, their kids are basically their only expense.
Yeah.
They can totally afford, even if it's not $30,000 up front, but they can afford a monthly plan.
You can't afford $100 a month
to make it right, just to compromise and, like, mend this relationship, mend your wrongdoings of your kids.
Exactly. It's the fact that you haven't apologized, you haven't taken any steps towards repaying, which you absolutely should be.
No accountability.
You live in a free house, regardless of the price of the house. You have a free roof over your head. You make $250,000 as a household income. You have no mortgage. So where's all that money going that you can't afford $100 a month?
Yeah, no, exactly. Okay, top comment is not the asshole. His circus, his monkeys. He wasn't watching them. That's on him. 100% he should replace your ring. As for all the family who are blowing up at you, it's easy when it didn't happen to them to preach forgiveness. Ignore them. Also, 8 out of 4 are more than old enough. 8/4 are more than old enough to know better. My 3-year-old knows not to touch someone else's things in their home without asking. Choices have consequences, and sometimes those consequences are expensive. Sorry this happened to you. Exactly.
Eh,
3 and 4
don't
and
know.
8 years old. What?
They're dumb. They're kids. They're dumb. I mean,
4 and 8 years old.
4 especially wouldn't even know how to flush it down the toilet. 8, just enough to be an idiot.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but that's reflected on the parents
Oh,
and how they
100%.
raise them.
100% is reflected on the parents. 100%.
They at that age they should know better.
The kids did
not to
shitty act.
touch.
I'm literally not surprised because the kids did such shitty actions. I'm not even surprised at the reaction from the parents for this.
Exactly.
Because those kids were created by those parents and everything just lines up.
Yeah, this one made me upset.
That is some family drama. That's some family ending drama. That's like, you're never coming over to my house again. I don't want to see your face.
I don't want to see you ever again.
Yeah.
Like, you're not willing to mend things.
You're going to have to pay for it when I sue you. So.
All right.
Fix it. This one is going to come from TIFU. Today I fucked up. It's from 3 years ago. 52,000 upvotes. I'm in for a good story. Today I fucked up my proposal. This morning I decided to surprise my girlfriend with a proposal in bed. Not the most original or romantic approach, I know. Initially the plan was to pop the question over dinner last night, but alas, the build up towards the big moment got the better of me. See, his mind went blank. However, today I woke up determined to do what needed to be done. So there I was, on one knee, next to my girlfriend's side of the bed, waiting for her to open her eyes to see me holding the ring. The moment I attempted to wake her up, she groaned, rolled over, leaving me with nothing to look at but the back of her head. My heart was beating hard enough to hear. I leaned over my girlfriend and gently tapped her on the shoulder. Instead of waking up like a normal person, she hissed in her sleep like a fucking vampire before elbowing me in the face. I stumbled back and dropped the damn ring. My girlfriend woke up during this commotion, and the first thing she saw was me bleeding from my nose. Not gonna lie, when she rushed over to comfort me, I flinched. Oh my God. The hissing thing she did scared the shit out of me. After all the drama died down, I managed to recover the ring without her noticing. Speaking of recover, my nose still hurts. Tonight, I'll try again. This time, I'll make sure to propose while my girlfriend is wide awake and still human.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Oh my God.
I didn't read this whole story.
That's so funny. I'm dying.
Oh, that made me cry.
Oh my God. That is like, she just abbled him straight to the nose. Just straight defense, reflect, get away from me. Bloody nose. Oh my God.
What a terrible way to propose.
Yeah. Yeah. It always sucks when you accidentally hurt your significant other.
Oh, you do that a lot.
Remember that one time I dropped my phone on your face?
Oh, I remember.
And you started bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my fault.
It was your fault.
Nope.
Yeah, it was.
Nope.
It wasn't mine.
It wasn't mine. It's gravity.
Gravity. Yeah.
There is an edit here. I'm just gonna leave an update for all the comments and requesting an update. She said yes.
Oh,
my
yay.
girlfriend is officially my fiance.
Aw.
Not that anyone really cares about this part, but my nose has also stopped hurting.
That's funny.
There's a top comment here. It makes sure there's plenty of garlic in your dinner tonight.
That's hilarious.
That is such a heartwarming story. That's a funny one.
Oh, I'm glad she said yes in the end.
Yep. Very
Imagine
happy.
she said no.
Oh my God. Poor guy.
Oh, all right. This one is from Today I Fucked Up and it has 65,000 upvotes. It's from 4 years ago. Today I fucked up by trying to gift my boyfriend some sweet undies and subsequently spoiled his surprise proposal plans. About 3 weeks ago, I began preparations to get a nice gift for my boyfriend, who I'll call Ray, to celebrate 4 years of dating. We live in a terribly humid place, and all summer he's been complaining about how sweaty his ass and balls get whenever he goes outside. He's been buying the same brand of cotton boxer briefs since we started dating. I thought it would be a nice homage to our great relationship, a great way to take care of the butt I get to squeeze on the regular, to splurge on a male subscription service to some silky micromodal underwear. They are pricey, but known for being wicking, cool, and overall very nice on the buns and balls. I ordered the first pair to present to him on the day of and set up for a pair to be delivered monthly thereafter. I used his email on the sign up so that I could simply pass on the account to him after the first pair came in. That way, he'll have full power to pick his colors and style every month and easily return any if there were unexpected problems. One small problem. The receipt for the whole transaction is now resting in his email where he can find it and spoil my surprise. I sneakily hacked into his computer while he was out, by which I mean I entered the password he shared with me because he foolishly trusted me not to wreck his shit, and opened up his email. I simply archived the existing emails and set it up for the future emails from the company would be auto-marked as read and archived as well. I know how to do this because I'm a brilliant hacker. I Googled it. While carefully double-checking my devious work, just to ensure nothing slipped through the cracks, a new email pinged on arrival and caught my attention. A shipping confirmation for an engagement ring. I immediately noped off his computer, and of course, I didn't open the email, but the damage is done. Secrets out. My heart fell right through my butt, you guys. I actually died, and now I'm a ghost writing this.
Oh,
I probably should have pretended I never saw that and taken the secret to my grave, but I was too pumped and couldn't keep it in. Within the hour, I broke down and called Ray to sheepishly confess what I had done. He wasn't angry, but sadly disappointed that I spoiled the surprise. Here's the kicker. He didn't actually propose yet and still intends to make a thing out of it. My punishment for snooping is that the suspense is killing me. I've been forbidden from telling anyone that we're getting engaged until it's officiated. Every time we go out, the suspense that this may be the night drives me crazy. A romantic date at the beach the other evening ended with me saying, "Damn, I thought for sure we were getting engaged tonight." "Why would you think that I'm going to propose to you?" he said. "That sounds like something you wouldn't know about because I'd keep it in my secret personal email." Now he started intermittently faking me out. The other day, he walked into the kitchen and presented me with a little hinged box, which turns out to contain a tie pin from his work. He keeps getting down on one knee, looking up at me and saying, "Gotta tie the shoe." The emotional stress of keeping this exciting secret within me, not sharing it with my coworkers or family or anyone, is maddening. Every false start sends my heart right back into my butt. One more thing. I somehow fucked up the email settings. The shipping confirmation for the underwear didn't get archived on arrival, and he saw it within a few hours. So that surprise got spoiled too. Turns out I'm not a master hacker, and my attempts have only brought woe into this house. I guess it's not all bad. He reports that the pair of boxer briefs that arrived are very nice to wear, and I do indeed enjoy squeezing his buns in them. If we ever do actually get married, it'll be nice to get hitched with a guy with sweet silky buns and balls.
oh my God, this story is gold.
Yeah.
Pure gold. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
I'm looking for an update on the actual proposal, but I don't see one.
I don't understand how, if you do find out, you can't keep it a surprise.
You don't get it.
I don't get it.
You want it to be a surprise.
But like, you found out, you have it's your duty to hold it in and not ruin it for him. But I like how he is tormenting her, because if you had somehow spoiled it and then told me,
I did.
No. Like, if you knew, like, I had a ring and all, I guess we talked about it way too much. I feel like there's got to be communication there. But if this was me, I would torture you for like the next 2 years. I would torture you for so long.
Poor girl.
We would start going on dinner dates so much more often and surprise things so much more often. And I would just, I like what he's doing. That's some sweet karma.
It is. But
everything about that story is heartwarming.
Yeah. No, it's funny. It sounds like they both have like good banter together. It is hard to keep it in. Once you see something or you know something, you have no idea how hard it is to keep it in.
Tell me something that you've been able to keep in.
Well, the proposal.
You didn't know.
I did know, and I told you I knew.
Yeah.
I guess. Denver had a lot of tells about him. Oh,
I do.
Well, you did. And I think just as women, we know how to read people. We know how to read people more.
It's not fair.
Well, it's true. But he just, sometimes he had on his phone pictures of the Griffith or like links to the Griffith. And he would open up his phone. I would be looking at his phone. He would quickly swipe up. I wouldn't go on your phone, but you would go to show me something on your phone. There would be a picture of the Griffith.
Lies.
It was just little things here and there. So a couple of weeks before we went to Cali, I told him, I was like, "Babe, I know when you're going to do it. I know I don't want to know. So I'm telling you that I know, and I don't think you want me to know. So
Well,
I'm telling you
I
that I
think
know.
you're right. It did work out because then
So
you were surprised.
yes, but it was hard for me to keep it in because I also wanted it to be a surprise for me. Because
Was it
I've
hard
been
for you
waiting.
to keep in your Vegas trip for a year?
Yes, that was
Secret plan trip to
worse.
Vegas?
That was
Check out our
worse.
last episode.
But yeah, no, I totally see where this girl is coming from. I'm glad she told him because honestly, it's better this way because now she like doesn't know when to expect it, and now she's getting a little bit of karma.
Yeah, I like it.
Because if she didn't tell him, then like maybe he would have proposed that week,
Exactly.
and she would have known. She would have expected it.
Tortured. I like it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
All right, top comment. I'm dying. I'm laughing so hard. Honestly, I'm loving that nobody is upset and you're both just playing with it. I feel like he's absolutely doing it right by teasing you and mocking you with it from time for your crime.
100%.
The reality is, if he's going to do the proposal right, he's got to numb you to it so you're not expecting it every time you turn a corner. He could milk this puppy for another year, maybe
2.
more.
Yep.
She responds, no, stop. Secrets are hard. A year would kill me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't see any more updates. She has a lot of activity on Reddit, and this post is from 4 years ago. So maybe I'll come back to it at the end of the episode if I find an update.
Are you on her page?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Moving along. This one is another TIFU. Today I fucked up story. It's from ARR Marriage Advice. Nope. Marriage Avoidance. It's from 11 months ago. 12,000 upvotes. Today I fucked up by telling my parents I was gay to avoid their arranged marriage proposals. So I'm pretty straight. Maybe slightly bi if we count femboys. Let's get that out of the way first. I'm also an Indian African male around 26 years of age. I'd also like to clear up some misconceptions around arranged marriage. A lot of non-Indians seem to think it's literally your parents choose who you marry and that's that. That's not really the case. Instead, it's more like your parents tap their network to find potential partners for you. If you like each other's pics, then you guys meet up in person, then you decide whether or not you want to get married. So basically, your parents are Tinder and you get a meeting or two to decide whether or not you want to get married. It's not quite as bad as many of you think it is, but the whole process feels super rushed, and I'd rather date someone before I figure out if we're compatible or not. Anyways, my parents have recently been getting on my case about getting married. Apparently, I'm getting older, need to settle down and give them grandchildren or something like that. Basically, every time I see them, which is fairly often since they live close by, they have a new potential match for me, a picture of some new girl, and ask me if I'd be willing to meet her. It's honestly super annoying, but I'm too non-confrontational to really put my foot down and say I don't want an arranged marriage. After all, if I do, there'd be an argument or at minimum some interrogation about why I don't want one. Anyways, I was starting to think of ways I could get them to stop harassing me about getting married, and the idea in the title popped up in my head. I decided it would be a lot easier to just come out as gay than to explain why I didn't want an arranged marriage. My parents were fairly conservative, but weren't the types to disown their kids. And if I just said I was gay, then I'd have a solid reason to not get an arranged marriage. I didn't like girls. So that's what I ended up doing last time I was visiting. They were showing me pictures of some girl, and I just looked at them in the eyes and said, "Mom, Dad, I'm gay." They got really quiet and awkward and asked me if I was sure, and I said yes. My mom told me they love me no matter what, and to do what makes me happy. My dad was a lot more awkward and quiet, but later gave me a similar talk about how he was a bit uncomfortable with the idea, but recognized that times are changing and I should do what makes me happy. Overall, I did feel kind of bad because of how genuine my parents seemed to respond to me, but was happy with the result. They stopped giving me arranged marriage proposals and stopped showing me pictures of girls. That was until last weekend. I visited them, and as usual, I was greeted by my mom, who was more excited than usual. She sat me down and pulled out a binder with a bunch of pictures of guys. Apparently, my parents had spent the last month or so looking for any and all gay Hindi Indian men who I could potentially marry. So now I guess I'm dealing with the exact same shit. but instead of greeted with pictures of cute Indian girls, I get to see pictures of gay Indian dudes instead. Fuck my life. LOL. At this point, the plan is to either find a girlfriend and tell my parents she totally turned me straight, or maybe marry a twink and SMTHN. I don't know. Or something. I don't know. Oh my God.
Oh, that's so funny. That backfired real quick.
That backfired real fast. That's pretty hilarious. But I mean, that's pretty extreme. That's very
extreme to just not say, Mom, Dad, I don't want an arranged marriage.
Yeah, just communicate. I mean, I guess family is hard, and hopefully parents, you know, they would be more accepting, but they seem like they're accepting.
They seem like they're accepting. They're accepting that you're gay.
Yeah.
So I think they could understand if you don't want an arranged marriage.
Exactly.
They seem pretty understanding.
But like, what's wrong with going on a couple dates?
Yeah, he's also a little bit resistant to that, but
yeah, doesn't seem like he wants to date anyone, which is no problem. Like, no. What if he's an only child? His parents are putting it all on him.
Maybe.
That's funny. Top comment: your parents really played the progressive reverse Uno card. We wholeheartedly accept these new terms and conditions. Challenge accepted. OP parents, probably. That's so funny.
That's hilarious.
Some top tier parenting going on right there. I'm pretty sure you have no option now but to take one for the team and live your happily gay married life.
You're too deep now. You have to.
Plot twist. His husband isn't gay either and lied to get out of an arranged marriage too. Turn it into a sitcom where they're covering for each other's hookups with women and trying to keep up the appearance as a loving gay couple. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Oh my God.
Oh, I love that idea.
That's so funny.
Okay, well, there's an update on this one, right?
Here's the update. I read all the comments on the original post from the people telling me to just tell my parents, questioning whether or not I was really straight, laughing at the admittedly fairly funny situation I got myself into, and a couple people who were straight up mean. At the end of the day, though, posting here probably gave me the final push to do something. The weekend after I made the post, I visited my parents as always and resolved myself to tell them the truth. However, when I got there, my mom, as always, pushed the binder in my hand and I kindly lost my resolve to tell her. I decided to just play along. It was then that I remembered the people on this thread who made fun of me for liking femboys and questioned whether or not I was really straight. I kind of took that to heart and decided to look at the binder of dudes in earnest to see if I liked any of them. To be honest, I'm really glad I did. Most of the dudes were unattractive as expected, but I found a dude on there who legitimately think is cuter and more feminine than the vast majority of girls I've seen. I told my mom I like him, and she kind of joked around asking me what the point of being gay is when I wanted a dude that looked like a girl anyway. She talked to his parents, we had a meeting set up over Zoom, and overall it went really well. Me and him have a bunch more in common interests. We're both massive weebs and history nerds, and he also disclosed that he apparently cross-dressed in private, which only made me like him more. In the end, though, we both decided we didn't want to rush into marriage and wanted to do a dating trial of sorts. I told my parents and they were fine with it. My dad literally just told me that as long as we have marriage as an eventual goal and don't have sex before marriage, that they didn't mind if we dated. Y'all, literally, this whole shit show could have been avoided, LMFAO. Though I'm kind of glad it wasn't. Luckily, he lived in the same state as me, but we are still a 3 to 4 hour drive away, so mostly we've had Discord calls and spent time together gaming for the past few weeks. This Saturday, though, we finally managed to meet up in person and have a day in. Honestly, I think I'm kind of in love. Dude's cuter than any girl I've ever met, but unlike most girls, he's actually into the same things I am. Anyway, we ended up having a great day out on Saturday, ended up staying over at his place over the weekend. Though surprisingly, I kept my promise to my dad and somehow avoiding having sex. LOL. Anyways, yeah, I'm now back home and extremely happy with my decision to lie to my parents. And then again, it was really lying if it turned out to be true. I really do like him and will probably ask him to marry me in a couple months from now if nothing goes wrong.
Wow.
Guess I was gay all along.
That's hilarious.
That's so funny.
What a turn of events.
What a turn of events.
Wow, so it was meant to be then.
Yep. Top comment on this one. Next visit to the parents are going to have adoption category ready. Son, we understand your decision, but we still want cute grandchildren.
Oh, that's so good. I love that ending because now
Yep.
it worked out for you. Maybe you wouldn't have known that you were gay unless you did this. Like
Exactly.
maybe if you hadn't have told them, guys, guys, I'm gay, then you wouldn't have found out that you're actually gay.
Yep.
So full circle moment. Love that for him.
Heartwarming ending.
Yes. All right. Moving along. This one is from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for breaking my sister's engagement? My, male 37, sister, female 29, recently got engaged to the love of her life. I'll call him Derek, male 34. They've been dating for about a year and a half, and we, the family, have gotten to know Derek since the beginning of this year. We all love Derek, especially my dad and I. We watch F1 every weekend together with the rest of our friends. The engagement was announced about 3 weeks ago, and we were all obviously excited. 2 weeks ago at the last GP, I was talking to Derek, and at some point, reason I might be an asshole, my mind slipped, and I said something along the lines of, "It's great you found someone you love so much, you would abandon having children." Sadly, my sister had a battle with ovarian cancer when she was 16 to 17, which resulted in the surgical removal of her ovaries, and from what I understand, parts of her uterus. Now, I didn't think much about my comment, but turns out she never discussed this with him. It was like I dropped a nuclear bomb of information. He said now it made sense why she always avoided discussing about children. Well, needless to say, the engagement broke, and they have now separated. And in the eyes of my sister and my mother, I'm the asshole who separated my sister from the love of her life.
No, that's not his fault. He's not the asshole. He didn't know. That was a genuine thing that he was unaware of, that she was keeping from him. It all comes down to communication. That would have blown up with or without him saying something at some point. If anything, he did the dude a favor, because that would be cruel if she allowed him to get married and went years in, and they kept trying to have kids, and that's something that he very much wanted and wasn't allowed to do. So I don't think he's the asshole at all. Sounds like his sister was the asshole for not having open lines of communication with her fiance that she was never going to be able to have kids.
Yeah.
It sucks if she really wants to have kids and just couldn't. Maybe there could have been a middle ground with an adoption or a surrogate or something like that. But no, she's the asshole if you can't communicate that to your partner. He didn't know. It'd be one thing if she told him and he went against her will, then he would be the asshole. But he genuinely seems like he didn't know anything. So how can you blame him?
I agree. It seems like it just came out, obviously assuming that they've talked about it.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I don't know, he was just kind of happy that she actually found someone. Like,
exactly.
Like the comment, like I'm it's great that you found someone you love so much that you would abandon having children. Like, I mean, that kind of is an asshole comment. It's not the nicest thing to say, but I don't think he was trying to be an asshole.
No. I mean, it's not. I don't think it all depends on how he said it. It doesn't seem like he said it maliciously. He said it like a genuine, loving comment. That's something that he wanted to talk about with him. Sister's the asshole for not telling her fiance that. That's not on him. That's not his responsibility.
Okay, so overall vote is everyone sucks. Top comment, everyone sucks here. Obviously, your sister shouldn't have lied and should be honest with him, so it's her fault the engagement ended. But also, what a shitty thing to say to someone. Like, not having children is some huge burden, and that your sister needed to do more just to justify marrying him because of her ovarian cancer. That's true.
I don't know.
That is true.
I don't see it that way. Was he never allowed to talk about it ever?
I just think, like, the wording of what he said, like...
Maybe.
It's kind of rude.
Possibly.
It's great you found someone you love so much you would abandon having children for.
Yeah, I guess that wording is not the best.
Yeah, it's not nice. Okay, so there is an update. It appears there's been a general consensus that everyone, meaning my sister and I, are assholes. And in retrospect, I cannot disagree. I'm an asshole for disclosing my sister's medical information behind her back, and she is an asshole for not discussing such important medical history with significant other. I've sent my sister an apology letter. She hasn't replied yet, but she will. I know her well. I just need to give her some space. As for those calling me a misogynist, fuck off. Perhaps my choice of words in the post was wrong because English is my second language. Also, I meant biological children. But don't for a second believe I think of my sister as less of a woman because she can't bear children. It's just that she's been through so much suffering and heartbreak because of men who did mistreat her due to medical conditions. I would know I was the one to support her emotionally, not our always busy parents. I was genuinely happy because I mistakenly thought she found someone who accepts her for who she is. As a result, I made a comment during a conversation and made an asshole of myself. And I cannot blame her so much for lying either. This is/was her longest lasting relationship. I guess she was terrified of the potential consequences. As for Derek, I talked to him. We're going to hang out this weekend. Plans were made in advance. I'd be letting down a lot of people, and that's not who I am. I'll talk in more detail with him. At worst, there will be some closure. At most, maybe something can be mended. His primary complaint was my sister withholding something so important, and her attitude when confronted. He said he didn't think much about kids prior, and anytime he'd mention it to my sister, she'd answer with something like, "We'll see," and so he didn't want to pry into something that made her uncomfortable. He said he needs some space for my sister and to rethink and reevaluate how he envisions his future. That's all. Thank you to those of you who were civil for the insightful comments.
Yeah, it seems like this dude was genuine.
Yeah.
And it seems like this, like, that's a big fear of hers. Who knows how long they've been dating and how, like, did he propose really early before she was ready and the proposal caught her completely off guard? Because then maybe that was something that she was going to bring up on her own. Or were they dating for
a year and a half? They were dating.
Okay, so that's not a long time. That's not something that you would maybe bridge and have that communication with.
Well, at 29 and 34.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. It's really tough because, sometimes you got to go deeper into the relationship to get there. And that's a big fear of hers. So I think it's just.
I get the insecurity on her end because she's been burned before. But I still obviously think like it's.
Once you're engaged, it's time to talk about it.
Before.
A year and a half.
But they're 29 and 34. Like that. Most people get engaged at that age around a year.
So. I guess dating. So. Yeah.
Like those conversations need to be had before.
Yep.
But 100% before engagement. Engagement is not a trial run for marriage. Like the dating is the trial run. You're supposed to get everything out on the table when you're dating.
Exactly.
Nothing new should be coming up after the engagement part.
Yeah, and honestly, like your history and stuff, like that's stuff that comes up within the first couple dates, I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's it for us.
Big insecurity for her, so I can understand.
Yeah, I understand it. But yeah, it's just
that's tough.
It's a tough situation.
That is a tough situation.
I feel sorry for her. I do understand where she's coming from. I feel sorry for him because I don't think he had intentions of being an asshole. I don't think he is an asshole.
Nope. But and I think the fiance is mostly hurt that she didn't communicate.
Exactly. Yeah, because it seems like because how couldn't you be hurt? Even if he didn't want kids, like this could impact, like you can't trust that person anymore. They've been lying to you for a year and a half.
Exactly.
Well, withholding information from you.
Yep.
Which is a big, like having kids is a big topic.
Huge.
To talk about before an engagement. So it does feel like she was lying to him. So I totally understand where the ex-fiance is
for sure
coming from.
I totally see his side of things.
Yeah. So it's tough.
Yep.
But I hope they work it out.
Okay, moving along. This one is coming from True Off My Chest. So we got a confession here. I'm calling off my engagement due to my fiance's financial situation. I, male 30, have been with my 38-year-old fiance for 4 years. We got engaged a year ago and started living together. Things were great until we gave joint bank accounts a shot. We don't make a ton of money, $90,000 combined in a moderately expensive city. I always grew up dirt poor and money has always been a huge source of anxiety for me. She grew up in middle class. She's terrible with money and doesn't give a shit when I tell her it's stressing me out. I hate always being the bad guy when it comes to spending money. We would literally be out on the streets in a few months if I didn't constantly intervene with her spending. This weekend, she finally disclosed a lot of debt that I didn't even know about. $69,000 in private student loans, a couple grand in collections, and some credit card stuff. I had to spend a lot of time thinking about it, but I called off the wedding for a couple of glaring issues. She's ignoring me when I tell her to cut down on spending, even when she knows I'm losing sleep over it. How the fuck are we ever supposed to have a stable life and kids someday if we have a $10 in our account come payday? I didn't want to get stuck with all that debt and resent the shit out of her, which I probably would have. She's almost 40. What are the odds she'll ever grow up if she hasn't by now?
Yeah, no, that's
Oof. Red flags.
so many red flags. That's totally warranted to call it off.
That's what you need to do.
Financial struggles, financial conversations, I think that is like what breaks up people the most.
100%. And the fact that she's 38 years old, she should be the responsible one. $70,000+ in debt. She's 38. How do you still have $70,000 in student loans unless you went to school late or something? But if you have that much loans, how are you still only having a combined household income of $90,000? You think she would be making more money. And if she's not, why isn't she making more money? So there's a lot of red flags here, and I would have been out too. I don't blame this guy.
I mean, the issue isn't that she had $70K in student loans. It's just that like she withheld that until now.
Yeah.
And
she's always spending money. Doesn't think it's a big deal.
She's not doing anything to help their financial situation at all.
Exactly.
So the stress is all on him. I wouldn't want to marry someone like this. Because I would have so much anxiety as well.
Same.
Like, no matter how much you love that person, like, the stress isn't worth it. And for someone who doesn't want to help themselves, that's tough.
It's one thing if you have debt and you're working towards getting that down, and you see your spouse making the right decisions and moving towards the end goal. It's another thing if they have that debt and they are making no decisions or actions to get towards that end goal.
Exactly.
If you have all this debt and you're spending all this money, you're not on the same page. So there's one thing if you have the debt and you're honest about it and you're working and your actions show that you're working to pay it off and move forward in your life. It's another if you're not. So I think this person made the absolute right decision.
100%.
That's not something you want to go into. Imagine other bad habits this person probably has too.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Not the greatest.
I'm out.
All right. Do we have time for 2 more? Or should I just choose one more?
Yeah, just go through them quick.
Okay. All right. This one is from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for having an engagement party without her? I proposed to my girlfriend of 7 years, and I don't think anyone was surprised, but it's still a big deal to us, so we wanted to make a thing about it. We rented the event room at a fancy restaurant and invited the people most special to us for the big reveal. In order to keep the nature of the evening secret, we arranged for one-on-one dinners with each attendee. We made sure to pick a day where everyone was free. This was just our best friends and closest family, so we almost managed it. The only person who said she couldn't make it was my mom. She said she was going to a concert that night. We couldn't reschedule, so I decided I would just call her when her concert was over and have everyone break the news to her as a group, so she would still be somewhat included. That's what sort of happened. The dinner started at 8. Everyone got there, were super surprised to see each other. I led them to the room and my girlfriend showed everyone the ring. There were congratulations, food, drinks, and revelry. My mom said her concert ended at 9, so at 9:30 I called her. When she answered, everyone greeted her and she asked what was going on. I told her. She said she would talk to me later and hung up. She's incredibly upset that I let her miss my engagement party for a concert. She said I should have told her, but that would have ruined the surprise. My mom isn't good at keeping secrets. I'm her only son and she's devastated she missed this once-in-a-lifetime event. Am I the asshole?
Yes.
Easy.
Obviously, she's devastated. Like, what's the rush?
Exactly.
Plan it for another weekend that works with everybody that your mom's not busy.
And why does it need to be a surprise? It
Why?
doesn't need to be a surprise so much that you're going to let your mom miss the engagement party.
An engagement party doesn't need to be a surprise. The engagement was a surprise. The engagement party be like, hey, we got engaged.
Well, I think that's what it was. It was the reveal.
Yeah, the reveal. Like, they already got engaged. Nobody knows yet.
Yeah.
I don't think he proposed to her.
No,
fiance was already engaged.
They were engaged, but no one knew.
Yeah. But it doesn't need to be like you can tell your mom, but like just book it later.
Or just you could have told her. You could have either booked it later, you could have told her and made her keep the secret, or you just didn't have to do a surprise engagement party. Like you
so many options not to disinclude your mom.
You could have just avoided this.
You chose to do it. Now accept responsibility that you're an asshole.
Yeah. Top comment. It was more important to you to surprise the rest of your guests than to have your mom there.
Exactly.
I'd be pissed too. You're the asshole.
Yep.
Yeah. Overall vote is asshole, obviously.
Good.
Which makes me sad for the mom. He's
Literally
the only son.
Yeah.
She'll never get that experience again. Like, can you imagine your whole entire family calling you from a concert? You're the only one left out.
Yeah.
And they're like, surprise, we're engaged, and everyone is there.
Did he not tell his mom that he's proposing? Shouldn't even be a surprise for her.
It seems like it was
Shouldn't even be a surprise for her.
He said she can't keep secrets well, so.
This dude sucks.
Yeah. Oh, that one was rough. All right. Okay, I have one more story. This one's also from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for getting engaged the week before my sister's wedding? I, female 33, just got engaged to Eric, male 35, this last Tuesday. My sister Anne, 30, female, and her fiance, Dean, 35, male, are getting married this Saturday. We have an older brother named Luke, 37, male. Fake names and accounts because Anne follows my other one. I told everyone in a mass text, including Anne, that Eric proposed to me at the restaurant we went to on our first date. I noticed everyone except Anne responded right away. She answered the next day with congratulations. She said she was busy putting together final arrangements for her wedding. Okay, no big deal. I confirmed that I would be in town this Wednesday. I live 2 states over. However, right after that message, she sent me another one asking that I not talk about my engagement. I asked why, and she said she spent over a year stressing over the wedding and hasn't seen her family in that time, so she wants it to be about her and Dean. She asked that we wait until the day after to discuss my engagement. I said that's ridiculous and that we can talk about both. Plus, people will be asking about my engagement anyway, as they already know. She said she expects that, but then the conversation needs to go to her because everyone is coming to celebrate her and Dean, not Eric and me. But I haven't seen my family, parents and older brother, in the same amount of time, and I want to use this time to talk about my engagement, my ring, and my wedding plans. I'm excited, and this is my only chance I'll get to do it. Anne told me it's not about me and reminded me that with her rehearsal dinner, and girl get-togethers, her bachelorette, nail appointments, etc., she wants to talk about just her wedding and everything she's been doing. I've told her not everything is about her, and I shouldn't be allowed to talk about my engagement. I said I want her to help me plan mine since she's just done it, and we could use this time for her to show me how to plan a wedding, but she said no, and that it's not about me. Then her brother Luke texted me and told me I was being ridiculous because I've been married before. However, I was 20 and did it at a courthouse. I married a military guy and we divorced soon after, so I don't think that should matter since I didn't even get a real proposal or a ring. We just decided to do it, and my band was sterling silver with no stones. I said Anne was being a bridezilla, thinking everything is about her, but he said she had the right to want a week of her wedding to be about her. I'm not saying the wedding day can't be about her, but she doesn't own the days leading up to it. I want to show off my ring and talk about my wedding. She hasn't had the chance to show everyone her ring in person either, because our family is spread out, but I think we can do that together. Eric agrees that Anne is being self-centered, but Luke thinks I'm trying to steal the spotlight and to let Anne have her moment. Am I the asshole? I don't see why we can't do everything together.
Everyone sucks here, but you know who is the asshole in this story? Fucking Eric.
You think he's the most asshole?
I think he's the biggest asshole. Who proposes
to
their fiance 1 week before they're going to the sister's wedding?
No, you're so right.
Obviously, everyone's going to want to talk about it because it just happened, but they're there for their wedding. And she's not being bridezilla. Maybe slightly, a little bit.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think I think it's her. Everybody's getting together for her wedding, and this is 100% going to take some of that away from her.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair. It's also not her sister's fault that her fiance proposed to her. So Eric's the big asshole here.
That is true. Eric is the big asshole.
She didn't propose.
That's
so
true.
She's excited, and she has her own right to be excited for herself. But can you just simmer it down a bit, plan an engagement party, and everybody can get back together? There's no problem with the first time you meet. Oh yeah, we're engaged too. Here's the ring, but I don't let's get back to the wedding and stuff like that. Sounds like she wants to do a whole big celebration.
Yeah.
And she's a little bit of an asshole for not simmering down a little bit and just being respectful of the wedding. It's yes, it's great that you're engaged. Congratulations to you guys, but look around you, read the room. don't blow it out of proportion. There's nothing wrong with talking about it. There's everything like that. But like, you're there for the wedding. You're there for your sister. And you are being a bit of an asshole if you're not considerate to the bride's feelings.
Yeah, like her sister's just asking, don't bring it up. Like, and
Yeah.
she said,
Don't make a big deal. And she's like, I want to make a big deal of it.
Yeah, she does kind of want the attention taken.
She wants the attention.
Yeah.
That's 100% what she said. She says she wants the attention.
Yeah, she wants it to be about both of them, she said.
Exactly. But
I don't see why we can't do everything together.
Exactly.
How she ended it.
And like planning the wedding and everything like that. Like,
yeah, that's not cool.
No, it's not cool.
Eric is the biggest asshole.
Eric's the biggest asshole. Imagine if I proposed to you 1 week before my sister's wedding.
Yeah, I would have said no.
Exactly. Or I would have been like, yes, but let's keep this a secret until after the wedding. Let's tell everybody we're engaged after the wedding and stuff like that.
Like, you couldn't have waited?
You couldn't have waited?
A week? You couldn't have waited?
Literally.
Yeah, okay. Top comment. You're the asshole. You do not need to use her event to discuss your engagement. If people ask you, you can politely answer, then deflect the conversation back to the event at hand. Exactly. You are literally saying you want to use her event that she and her partner created with her hard work and make it happen, and her money to make it happen, to talk about you and your life event. What the fuck are you thinking?
Exactly. Well said.
Yes. No, exactly. She's just kind of trying to use the event for her engagement party.
Not cool. Not cool at all.
And men, women, whoever is proposing, don't do it a week, even a month before a
wait
wedding
till
that
after
you're
the
going
wedding.
to.
If anybody in your family has a wedding coming up, wait.
Yeah.
Unless there is for some reason that you can't, like you're going to a Taylor Swift concert and Taylor Swift is going to announce on stage that there's a proposal happening. Okay. Some things can't be avoided. But if you're just doing a simple at dinner, will you marry me? Just wait. Wait your turn.
Exactly. No, 100%. I think this is tasteless, and Eric sucks.
Eric sucks. Eric's the biggest asshole in this equation.
But the sister's also an asshole.
Sister's an asshole.
And the bride is not bridezilla. That is totally fine and warranted.
Just a reasonable.
Yes.
For
she's
sure.
being reasonable.
For sure. All right. Well, that is episode 4 on engagement stories.
It is
Do you want to
episode
talk
4.
a little bit about our engagement?
I feel like we did kind of talk about it, but
we said we'd talk about it a little bit at the end.
What did we miss?
I don't know. So Teresa and I went to LA for 10 days, and on the second day we went to the Griffith Observatory in the morning, went up to the top, was walking around, had a photographer hiding in the bush. We were originally going to do it on one section, but then there was too many people there and I started wandering around more, and then I asked the photographer to move, and then at one point the photographer walked right by us with her camera. But Teresa had no idea. It's just another person hanging around.
Just someone with a camera.
There's so many people. We were there at 9 a.m. so there's only like 10, 15 people all hanging around. It wasn't too many. You could really find yourself by yourself in some corners. And then we kind of like walked down to this area, and the photographer was like up on the ledge. So we got this beautiful shot going down over the LA. And I had set up the tripod because we were going to do a vlog for our main channel. So
that's what you told me.
Yep. So I had Teresa mic'd up. So that's a good.
So you told me to dress up. We're going to do a YouTube intro.
Yep.
We were going to take some YouTube videos, take some photos. So I dressed up.
Exactly. And then bam, surprise. Because as soon as the video started, I got down on one knee. She loved her ring. She told me that was something that we had a lot of communication about our ring. She told me, she showed me photos and everything like that. So then I went and got a custom made. It's a nice oval ring with a gold band, platinum prongs, and some 4 green diamonds underneath, which is like, I love green. Teresa doesn't have a favorite color. I've kind of made her favorite color pink now. I buy her everything in pink. Pink Apple Watch, pink MacBook, the pink headphones, the pink microphone, lots of pink clothes. She never really had a favorite color before she met me, but I like pink. Pink slippers. But my favorite color is green, so I put green on the bottom of the ring so you can't even see it from the top unless Teresa purposely shows you it. And then after, we spent an hour and we did basically all of our engagement photos. Mm-hmm. And
it was a great spot because it was overlooking like the whole city of LA, and just the Griffith itself had like such beautiful views, structure, like even just like the structure of the Griffith, it kind of reminded, like, it was a white building, there was like some arches, it was just a perfect place for a proposal and then like engagement photos after, and I had a blast. It was amazing. And then we had the rest of the trip
to celebrate
as like a
fresh fiancés.
engagement mood.
Exactly. And Teresa did have some requirements for the engagement. Had to be in public. It didn't want it to be like at home or anything like that. It had to be out in public, but not in public. It had to be not at her home, but with not very many people around. Like, she didn't want people staring at us. When we went to Vegas, somebody proposed in the Ferris wheel, trapped in there with like 15 other people. And I'm like, Teresa would have hated this.
Yeah, would have.
But this was like perfect because right after I proposed, some people walked around and then they realized we were doing a proposal and like 2 people clapped, but they weren't even there for the actual proposal.
Yeah,
they came like 2 minutes after. It was very intimate. So that was exactly what Teresa wanted. She wanted it out in public, but with nobody around.
Yeah. And by out in public, I meant like, I don't want him to do it in bed.
Exactly. Like, no. And for me, it's like, I need to be on a trip. I did not want to do it in Toronto.
Yeah. That was a big thing for you. Right, which I didn't know.
It was October. We originally had a trip planned for Iceland in April and May that we canceled, basically. I was originally planning on doing it in Iceland.
Were you?
Yeah. I was going to do it earlier. I was going to do it in Iceland earlier in the year.
Oh, shit.
But then we canceled it.
Maybe we could have gotten married this year then.
Maybe.
2024?
Maybe. And I kept the ring in my sock drawer. Literally in black socks, because Teresa can't touch black socks, and
we don't need to get into that.
She kept making jokes about like, where's the ring? I'm like, it's in my sock drawer underneath my black socks. She's like, I can't even verify. I can't even go snooping and find out if he's telling the truth or not. And I was telling the truth. It sat there for months before we went for our trip, and then I put it in the check bag. Oh my god. I put it in the check bag and I was panicking. I'm like, I hope our luggage doesn't get lost because my proposal is ruined. I was going to do it with a paper ring if I had to, because Taylor Swift.
Yes.
She's a big Swiftie. We actually are going to Taylor Swift concert in Italy in July.
Yes.
And I sent a DM to Taylor Swift on Instagram saying like, hey, we're going to be at your concert. I'm planning to propose. If you can reply back to this message, I will change my proposal plans if you help me. She never replied. Thought Taylor Swift was cool. She never replied, though.
She's still cool.
I guess
Forgive her.
I guess so.
She's a busy girl.
She's a Taylor Swift, so she gets a pass.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, it was honestly a dream. I couldn't have asked for a better proposal, a better ring, a better fiance.
Mm-hmm. No. Now we are planning our Italian wedding. We are doing a flyaway wedding in Italy.
Yes.
We are planning that. So we'll have to do a marriage episode coming up.
A marriage or a wedding episode?
Like a wedding episode.
A wedding episode.
Or like marriage too and stuff like that. Like divorces and not divorces, but like
let's not do that.
Bad wedding, like bad marriage things. I don't know.
Okay, let's do a wedding episode.
Let's do a wedding episode. Not the next one, but in the future.
Yeah. All right, this was a fun one.
This was a fun one. So if you guys made it all the way to the end, thank you very much. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button. If you're not on YouTube, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram. And
please like us on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you're listening. Give us a 5-star rating. That will help us a lot.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
And yeah, thank you so much.
See you on the next video.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.